We've just had a fantastic debate here about electoral reform. I'm joined by two of the panellists, Denis MacShane from the Labour Party, Huhne from the Liberal Democrats. Denis, first, if you had to pick one point that came out of the discussion today, what would be the thing that hit home to you?
Confusion. People talk about electoral reform, but nobody actually said what they wanted. Pure proportional representation like in Israel or Sweden, alternative votes, single transfer votes, multi-member constituencies. And I left not actually knowing what either the panellists or the audience, in what was a very good debate, actually wanted.
Okay. And Chris, can I ask you a question? We can hold you to account for this. There seems to be a lot of enthusiasm for electoral reform at the moment. Do you think, having been an advocate of it for a long time, we really are going to see change now, or do you think that this will blow itself out once we forget about MP's expenses?
I think it crucially depends on what happens within the Cabinet. The government is clearly discussing this. There is a possibility that we could move quite quickly to a referendum even before the general election and even have change for the next general election if the government decides to do that. It's going to need courage and it's going to need increased pressure from across the public to say, look, it is time for a change. I think the key point that we need to get across is that if we have a system that has so many safe seats, you're going to have a lack of discipline of the voters on MPs.
And one last question. The general election in probably 2015, will it be the same system now, yes or no?
It depends on the... I'm sorry, it's very important this year. I disagree with Chris.
No, I'm not asking you which different system. Will it be the same as this?
I don't know. It depends on the voters, not the Cabinet.
Right.
If the voters of the next election send to the House of Commons no party with an overall majority, and then there's another election that happens again, that will push things through. It's the voters that decide, not the politicians.
And do you think the election after next will be fought under the same system or a different system?
I think the next 6 months is going to be absolutely crucial. If we have a government that has the courage to really push some constitutional change through between now and the general election, then I think we could even see the next election fought on a different system, let alone the one afterwards. Otherwise, we may be looking at potentially a balanced parliament, but frankly, if there's a Conservative overall majority, we're not going to see change.
Denis MacShane, Chris Huhne, thank you very much.